Hello, how are you guys doing today? This is Brayton, and today's video is kind of like a quick update here on a kind of like an experiment thing that I was doing for a little bit here, and my experiences and what went wrong and where I went wrong, and kind of explaining what happened. So as you can tell, my skin is going through a pretty bad breakout right now. The quality's definitely gone down a lot. So what has happened? So obviously, we'll start from the beginning here. I've used tretinoin before, but not consistently whatsoever. I've used it maybe here and there for certain acne breakouts that I would have, or I'd put a very little amount of tretinoin and I would apply it to a certain area. I would never, cover my face or cover a certain amount of my face with a larger than a pea size like amount of tretinoin cream onto my face. When I did tretinoin in the past for hair loss, or when I did minoxidil and tretinoin for hair loss, because tretinoin increases the sulfosyltransferase enzyme activity. The metabolites of minoxidil then will express the potassium channeling opening effect that it has, which causes the hair growth. And obviously, when orally used, it was originally designed for hypertension, but is caused to have excessive hair growth. That was like the number one side effect. So originally, it was for hypertension, but now it's for hair growth as well, topically, when it is applied. So obviously for hair growth, it is one of the more powerful stimulants, or hair growth stimulants. So that's why when I originally did it for hair growth, I did tretinoin cream on like the top of my head here, or in areas where I wanted hair growth, with the minoxidil. So the only really side effect I ever had when I did with that was just mild irritation. Like I would have pretty bad, I'd say, like dandruff from that time, and like irritation was pretty, irritating. So, but I didn't really realize it too much, because over time, like I stopped using tretinoin cream onto my hair because, well, my hair is very curly and thick. It was a pain, so I kind of stopped. Plus the irritation was kind of annoying, but I never really thought twice about the irritation as much. I just was like, hey, maybe I'll just kind of stick to microneedling. But even though microneedling is not the best for your skin in general, I was just like, okay, maybe another time here. So I just kind of discontinued the tretinoin cream. I never thought about it really twice until now. So now I recently did an experiment where I wanted hair growth onto my face. So I wanted to do like a beard experiment without microneedling, because, well, microneedling I'm not the biggest fan of, especially on your face for like long term. It can cause fibrosis, and not the best thing for your just skin in general, your epidermis, your dermis, where, well, of course it depends on the depth of the microneedling, the roller especially, but like as well as like the machine that goes in and out. There's some studies that show that it is good and can cause collagen synthesis for like short periods of time, but it also can cause some pretty bad negative effects over time. So that's why, like, over time, my microneedling stance is kind of stewed away, even though I did get a lot of hair growth from my microneedling and minoxidil use. I, over time, don't think it's a good thing long term to just maintain microneedling all the time. But obviously, that is my opinion. So acne starts as microcomedos, which is under the skin already. So this kind of like what these exfoliators do, or things like tretinoin does, is it kind of brings them up here. Now, some people, it varies. Purging isn't always bad as the next person. Someone may have very little purging, and while the other person has really bad purging. Now, my purging was pretty bad. Now, at first, it was obviously a lot of acne was brought to the surface, but what kind of exacerbated it here is, well, first off, I wasn't moisturizing as much as I should. Obviously, when you use tretinoin, you should moisturize. But compiling this with minoxidil 5% on the face as well, which is, very oily, and already kind of irritated my skin. This was a recipe for disaster. This caused a really bad purge that was extremely it wasn't an irritant. While tretinoin doesn't irritate your skin, it just causes the purging effect. While irritants, while something that usually is an ingredient and like a moisturizer, which cause like your skin to be irritated too, usually maybe you're allergic to it. If you're using tretinoin, you shouldn't be using any other like exfoliants like they use to exfoliate your skin in general, because it can make it worse. But I've never had a purging like this before, so this was just extremely exacerbated from the minoxidil, and I'll actually show some pictures here of what my face happened. It was extremely itchy. It was bad, very watery, and the edema, I believe, was just, my face was so swollen. You can't really tell too easily in this picture here how swollen my face was from the edema, which minoxidil can cause. And then on top of it, my skin was so was like moist, like super moist. And I don't think it was even from my moisturizer I was using. I think it was just from the actual like tretinoin like purging effect that it causes, and then compound with the minoxidil. It was just a nightmare. Edema, irritated itchiness was caused from it. So this is kind of a video of like, you just really have to be really careful on especially mixing your tretinoin and minoxidil, especially if you're trying to grow like a beard, because there are some side effects from minoxidil. Minoxidil is not side effect free, and that's obviously oral minoxidil is typically known to have more side effects than topical, but obviously everyone's different in this aspect, because minoxidil topically can still cause some side effects as well, especially if it gets systemically. In general, I could probably get through a couple weeks of purging of like the acne that comes to surface, and of course it would be bad, and of course I have to take care of it, moisturize, and obviously just keep my skin away from the sun, and just obviously take care of my skin when I'm using the tretinoin. Obviously I'm gonna do that probably when I'm older. I'm still pretty young, so I don't have to worry about using tretinoin all the time now at the moment. But why I use the tretinoin here is because of the reuptake of minoxidil, and so it has a better effect of hair growth on my face. Now the real question here, did I get any hair growth on my face? Kinda. I mean, like, my face was so irritated, like, I did shave, but like, I did get a decent amount of hair growth on like the sides. Of course, it wasn't like something crazy. I still have a baby face, so it's like nothing crazy, but I did notice a decent amount of more hair that grew in kind of the sides, darker hair too. So, from it, that was just like a week. So it's, obviously it kind of shows that minoxidil does work, but the side effects from, the combination of the purging from the tretinoin and then, the minoxidil on top of that, which in general, I'm already irritated by minoxidil. I use topical minoxidil on my head without the tretinoin, and it does cause irritation by itself. So just like imagine how sensitive my skin is with the tretinoin at purging, and then a ton of minoxidil, 5% on my face, like 2 milliliters, like on my face, morning and night. So yeah, it was not fun. It was so irritated. It was a nightmare. I would put like lidocaine on just to numb it. And I've been moisturizing properly, and yeah, just using some anti-eczema stuff just to help with the acne. I've been icing my face as well, just to kind of keep the inflammation down. I don't know how much that's gonna help, but it actually feels really nice because my face was so hot and inflamed. And so in conclusion, this video is just gonna say here, don't use minoxidil ointment or oil on your skin at the same time you are using tretinoin, especially during the purging process of tretinoin, because it will only make things way worse. And yes, if you are wanting to grow like certain like facial hair and or even on the scalp as well, and you want to use tretinoin and minoxidil, be careful, because something like this could happen. Now on the scalp could be different than on the face, because obviously there's no acne on your scalp, but it can still cause major irritation. So yeah, or not irritation, it causes like just like that purging kind of effect, or it's like shedding kind of. So yeah, that's that. Just something to give kind of awareness about. I just wanted to share with you guys. So yeah, I've learned my lesson for that one. So yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. So bye.